Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the More Analytics Afternoon Energy Podcast for July 21st, going into the 22nd. I'm going to start off with natural gas. Okay, a day of consolidation here. I'm not going to go over all the higher time frame stuff right now. The trade back below 331.40, brought in 491 ticks of pressure. A number of other bearish calls in here. However, we just broke above this formation that came in at 285.50 minus 1.5 per hour, which now warrants of decent strength. If we fail back below that decently, that's going to warrant decent pressure again. That's going to come in at 285 as of 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A further break above 291.80 plus 0.5 of a tick per hour starting at 6 o'clock will warn of continued strength. A maintained gap higher tomorrow would leave a medium bullish reversal below that would warn of higher trade for days, possibly weeks. I would also note that although we did take out this exhaustion level here a couple times for the macro size of what that exhaustion level is, it did not take it out by much. So, and then if we settled above 297.40 to 3 even 10, that would also warn of an entry into a bullish correction, which would exceed, if it becomes a bona fide bullish correction, would exceed 599 ticks from the low. Okay, the crude oil maintain gap lower tomorrow. We'll leave a minor bearish reversal above on the day. I'm not going to go over all the higher time frame stuff in here. The break above 67.91 has brought in strength up to 84.85. So a number of other bullish calls in here. Let me just back up there for a second. I would note that we held exhaustion right here at 85.02. I had that listed, but I did not have a sell suggestion against it as I had a fade right here above on the failure back below 84.60. If we continue to rally through that, I would be aware of possible exhaustion at 85.96 to 626, which I do not have listed in here, but it's 85.96 to 626, and the next one above that would be at 87.70. If we fail below 82.42, 82.43 plus 6.5 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m., that'll warrant decent pressure. If we break below there decently and back up through it decently, look for decent short covering to come in. And the RBOB maintain gap lower tomorrow would also leave a minor bearish reversal above. I'm not going to go over all the higher time. I'm not going to keep saying this, but I'm not going to go over all the higher time frame stuff for the RBOB, the heat, the Brent, or the gas oil. We're just going to jump to the short-term basis. The trade above 287.06 warned a decent strength. We've seen 58.72 cents of that so far. And a number of other bearish calls in here. However, I said the break below 321.28 warned of pressure. We broke below here. We haven't seen much follow through yet, and we're traveling up underneath the line. That being said, we haven't taken out the line yet, but we did leave a slight gap higher on the day, which would put this bearish bias on hold. If we continue to break back above 325.57 plus 26 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m., that'll warrant of decent strength and a likely run possibly for this higher level up here, or the higher line that's going to come in at 333.56 plus 17 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. If we break above that line decently and back down through it decently, I would get short once again and look for decent pressure to come in. And like I said, if we leave a maintained gap lower, that would also take the bearishness off hold. In the heating oil, the trade above 320.04 has brought in $1.02 or $1 even 0.26 of strength. A number of other bullish calls in here. I would be aware of possible exhaustion just above at 411.30 to 411.89. If we trade above 416.79 by any amount, that's going to be a sign of continued structural strength. If we fell back down through this formation, that's going to warrant decent pressure. That's going to come in at 383.36 plus 5.5 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Brent, a maintain gap lower in the Brent tomorrow. It's going to leave a minor bearish reversal above. Tomorrow also has a high likelihood of seeing range expansion. We came just shy of exhaustion with a 70.14 low, and we have rallied up to 91.99. Possible exhaustion levels above here at 92.85 and 94.25 to 94.70. Decent trade below 89.28 plus 9 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. will warrant decent pressure. If we break below there decently and back up through it decently, look for decent short carbon to come in. Gas oil. The break above 896.59, supporting strength up to 1164. But we saw more than that in the August contract anyway, up to 1216.50. Decent trade below 1105.50 will warrant a decent pressure. Going into tomorrow, the RBOB is the weakest, the heating oil in the middle, and the crude the strongest of the three relative to one another. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's podcast.